Traveling the back roads and highways. Sinatra said it best, I do it my way. Welcome to the channel, nice having you. I'm driving on the boulevard, streets and avenues, and now I'm passing you, speed demon gassing you. I surpass, driving fast, now I'm asking you to hit the road, make it win, never if. You see me ballin' like my name was Steve Smith. Road trippin', school's not in session, Pete way to be dippin'. Breaking travel records cause the competition's slippin'. Hit the concrete and the wheel I've been grippin'. See you later suckers, I've been zippin'. Breaking speed limits like a Mario. See me in the city, in the country, in the barrio. I got a new ride, cold as icicles. Always hit the road in the latest vehicles. Road trippin'.
Alright, I'm at a Detroit Tigers baseball game right now, checking off all 124 professional sports teams at their home stadium. I'm almost done with that goal. Needless to say, when in Detroit, you got to do a Detroit-style pizza, of course. It's different than all the other pizzas. It's rectangular in shape. It's got the Wisconsin brick cheese. Unlike the mozzarella that's on most pizzas, it's got the very special detail of the thick, buttery crust. So we're going to go out and see that after the game. All right, game's over. Let's go to a sketchy neighborhood and get some great pizza. So in the 1800s, they developed New York-style pizza in New York City, of course. In the 1940s, they developed a thick Chicago-style pizza in Chicago. And also in the 1940s, right here at Buddy's Pizza in Detroit, this is where the Detroit style began. We're gonna go check it out. All right, so I've ordered the Detroiter. I mean, what else would you get in Detroit with the original Detroit deep dish pizza? Look at this thing, it is absolutely beautiful. Perfect. You got the Wisconsin brick cheese. You got everything on it. Now the left half of my body's in Indiana, but the right half of my body is in Michigan. So I'm right here on the border, which helps me accomplish one of my most ridiculous travel goals, which is cross into every state of the 48 contiguous states at a place that's so remote, there is no welcome sign. And guess what? There is no sign that says, welcome to Michigan, welcome to Indiana. It's not here. Helps me accomplish that goal. All right, now it's time for the third and final zoo on this road trip, and we have saved the best for last. This is the Toledo Zoo. Toledo, Ohio, pretty small little town, not much to it, but this is a world-class zoo, the 5th most species of any zoo in the United States of America. So let's go check it out. Now, we talk about this in math class. Here is the beginning of the Indiana Turnpike, which is much like the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Press button for ticket. Processing. Please wait. Remove ticket. Thank you.
And now they know exactly what time I got on the Indiana Turnpike because it's stamped on this ticket right here. So when I scan this ticket back out at the other end, they will know exactly how many minutes I spent. And if I had gotten there too fast, they'll send a ticket through the mail automatically just based off of average rate of change, which we study in Integrated 3, in pre-calculus, and in AP Calculus, all three. But I did not do an average that was over the speed limit, which is 70 miles per hour here. So I'm good to go.
Insert card or pay cash.
You see, there was this place called Ollie's Trolley that we used to eat at back in elementary school in the 1980s. It was just a little hamburger stand. It had mediocre hamburgers, but really good seasoned French fries. And then about 1983, 1984, they all closed down. Never saw it again. 40 years later, I just drove by this. It's an Ollie's Trolley, one remaining in downtown Cincinnati. After all these years, I didn't even think it existed. I'm about to eat those seasoned fries for the first time in 4 decades, since I was literally like 14 years old. Let's go. Now, I have 2 orders to go of Ollie's Trolley fries. They look just the same as they did 40 years ago. Yep, I did not overhype this. They are still just as good. Ollie's Trolley fries. I can't believe they still exist. I'm now on the scene of one of the most eerie, creepy, scary stories I've ever heard of, and one of the most bizarre tales I've ever heard of in American history. Because it was right here, October 18th, 2011, in this forest that there were 18 endangered tigers, 17 African lions, 2 mountain lions, and 2 grizzly bears roaming these woods of Ohio? What were these exotic creatures, some of the world's biggest felines and trained killers, doing in the woods of Ohio? It was a very bizarre story. There was a man who lived on this property here, and it was all wooded at that time. And he owned all these exotic animals in cages, but he was sick and tired of the neighbors' complaints. So he opened up all the cages, let these exotic animals go into the woods of Ohio, and then killed himself, and let Ohio deal with it. Of the 50 wild animals that were released, 48 were shot and killed by police, including those 18 endangered tigers. Keep in mind, there are only a couple thousand tigers left in the world. The other 2 animals were never found, and were probably eaten by the other wild animals. But even professional zookeepers and conservationists of wild animals, they all agree there was no other option. The police had to kill these animals. They couldn't have taken them to zoos. They wouldn't have been acclimated at all. They were too dangerous. And they were endangering the public, of course, because they were out here in the wild, and there were houses back up this road here, back down this road over here. There are houses, a couple of apartments in the area. We're in a quiet section here, but this animal spread everywhere, of course. So can you imagine lions, grizzly bears, tigers coming out of these woods right here in Ohio. It's just one of the most bizarre stories ever. And now it's just a peaceful, quiet forest. But this is not where I'd want to be standing that first night. All right, so I'm supposed to be in Milwaukee by tomorrow night for the Milwaukee Brewers baseball game. I took this major spontaneous detour that was not planned down to Southern Ohio, especially because I've always wanted to see that forest in Zanesville. Now, since we're down here, let's grab some of the best biscuits in the United States of America, and then we'll get back on track. All right, so continuing the restaurant theme, we're now at Boomtown Biscuits, which is supposed to be the best biscuits in the U.S. We're gonna put that to the test as well. All right, the menu looks fantastic. There's so many great choices, but I think I'm gonna go with the Yukon, which is this massive biscuit, and then all this great stuff on top of it. So let's see how it turns out. And there it is, the monstrous Yukon biscuit. Here we go. All right, that biscuit's done. It's in my stomach, and that was amazing. All right, I'm back on track and headed to my next baseball game and food adventure in the city of Milwaukee.
Sunbeams forming a shadow for a field. We're floating, just carried by levity. Sensing a feeling of love.